Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move this week. I'm Tim Stanivek with Molly Smith. We're joined by Bloomberg News equities reporter Natalia Kunijevic. Natalia, what are you watching this afternoon?
Hi, guys. Let's start with Wynn Resorts. Stock is up by 10.8% this week. We saw that UBS raised the recommendation to buy from neutral and cited some growing appreciation from its Marjan project. It's in UAE. And on top of that, we saw some upside in Macau-exposed casino stocks this week. Analysts saw some strong gaming revenue data for the gambling hub, of course, and Morgan Stanley, based on that, also raised recommendation on Wynn Resorts to overweight from equal weight. It is important because Macau, if we look at FA function on Bloomberg Terminal, shows that Macau operations account for 51.6% of revenue in 2024 versus Las Vegas, which accounts for 26%. So analysts really see some upside momentum.
That's Wynn Resorts, ticker WYNN.
And now moving on to one that's not doing so hot today, eBay, which is conveniently ticker EBAY. Natalia, tell us what was going on there. A down day for that stock.
Down day and down week. The stock finished the week down 8.7%. Today, of course, we know that the so-called de minimis exemption has ended. And it means that now all packages that are coming to the U.S. will be subject to standard tariffs and fees. And also, we know that it created a lot of uncertainty, not just for eBay, but for other stocks like Etsy. So early this month, also Bloomberg reported that more than a dozen of national postal agencies have stopped taking U.S.-bound packages for delivery. Of course, they cited uncertainty, and we will see how this plays out. And of course, Congressional Budget Office in 2024 estimated that ending this de minimis exemption just for goods from China would result in about $23.5 billion in customs revenue over a decade.
Yeah, we've been watching this closely because in some cases, as one of the most read stories on the Bloomberg Terminal showed us this week, consumers can get that little surprise that they owe the Customs and Border Protection Agency some money as a result of buying something that came from outside of the U.S. So I know everybody's still trying to work out the effects of that. Speaking of tariffs, Williams-Sonoma, what's going on?
Right, so Williams-Sonoma, the ticker is WSM. The stock is down by 7.5% this week. Of course, we saw that some furnishing retailer stocks were under pressure after this tariff costs announced by the White House. And we see that some companies, specifically Williams-Sonoma, said that expect outlook to be pressured by incremental tariff costs, and it will overshadow its full year revenue forecast. However, some analysts, including Bloomberg Intelligence, say that inventory is still in place for the fiscal second half of this year, and that would allow at least Williams-Sonoma to kind of shift this sourcing, and so it has some time maybe to adjust supply chains later this year and in 2026. They say that Williams-Sonoma is slightly...
Give us something on Nvidia for the week that was.
Of course, the stock is down by 2% this week. It was a big story. Of course, Nvidia reported earnings, and they were disappointing for some analysts. However, other people are saying on the street that with or without China, they see upside to data center sales. So we'll see how this plays out during the next earnings season for Nvidia.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.